You told your best friend you got the promotion. There was a pause, just half a second too long. Then they smiled and said, "Wow, that's great." But you heard it, the hairline fracture in their voice, the weight behind the word great, like they were lifting something heavy. You felt it before, that strange coldness when you share good news, the jokes that land like jabs, the advice that sounds like concern but feels like a leash. You thought friendship meant celebration, mutual rise, hand in hand toward the light. But here's what they don't tell you in the Hallmark cards. Your friends don't want you to fail. They just need you not to succeed. Because the moment you do, you become a mirror. And mirrors don't lie. Let's talk about what it looks like when someone loves you but hates your progress. It starts small, invisible almost. You mention you're waking up at 5 a.m. to write. They laugh. God, why would anyone do that? Not a question, a dismissal, a little erosion of your resolve disguised as humor. You post about your new business. They don't comment, don't share. But they'll like the photo of your dog. They'll heart the meme, just not the thing that matters. You get the raise. They say, "Must be nice," with a grin that doesn't reach the eyes, as if luck fell into your lap, as if you didn't bleed for it. They'll tell you they're proud, but they'll never ask how you did it, because asking means admitting they could do it too, and they'd rather believe you're special than confront the fact that they're stagnant. Here's the tell. They only call when you're down. When you're struggling, they're front row, checking in, offering comfort. But the moment you stabilize, radio silence, because your pain is neutral ground, your success is a threat. They'll frame it as concern. You're working too much, you need balance. Translation, you're making me look bad, slow down. They'll frame it as realism. Not everyone makes it, you know. Translation, I didn't make it, so why should you? And the cruelest part, they believe they're helping. They believe they're protecting you from disappointment, when really they're protecting themselves from comparison. So why do they do it? Let me introduce you to the crab bucket. Drop a crab in a bucket, it'll climb out. Drop 10 crabs in, and none escape. Because the moment one starts to rise, the others pull it back down. Not out of hatred, out of instinct, out of the terror of being left behind. Your friends are the crabs, and your ambition is the climb. When you improve, you don't just change your life, you change the narrative. You prove that the excuses they've been feeding themselves, "I don't have time, I don't have money, I don't have luck," are just that, excuses. Your discipline exposes their complacency. Your risk exposes their fear. Your growth exposes their decay. And nobody likes being exposed. So they drag, subtly. A comment here, a doubt there. Little anchors tied to your ankles while you're trying to swim. It's not malice, it's survival. Because if you succeed, they have to ask themselves the question they've been running from. Why didn't I? And that question is unbearable. So they sabotage, not with knives, with whispers, with silence, with the small, suffocating weight of their disappointment in themselves projected onto you. Psychologists call it social comparison theory. We measure our worth by those around us. When someone in our circle rises, it doesn't inspire us, it threatens us, because now the bar has moved, and moving the bar means admitting we've been sitting still. So they don't cheer, they cope, they minimize, they rationalize, they pull. And you? You feel crazy for noticing. You gaslight yourself. They're my friends. They want what's best for me. But pay attention to how you feel after spending time with them. Drained? Doubtful? Smaller? That's not friendship. That's captivity. Here's the thing they never tell you about success. It's lonely. Not because you become arrogant, not because you change, but because the people who knew you at your lowest can't reconcile the person you're becoming. They loved the version of you that needed them, the version that was stuck like they are, the version that made them feel less alone in their stagnation. But the version that's rising, that's a stranger, and strangers make people uncomfortable. So you have a choice. You can stay, you can shrink, you can dim your light so they feel less blind. You can play small so they feel big. You can succeed just enough to be interesting, but not enough to be intimidating. Or you can walk. And walking doesn't mean cruelty. It doesn't mean burning bridges or dramatic exits. It just means distance. It means understanding that not everyone gets to come with you, that some people are meant for chapters, not the whole book. It means accepting that the people who clap the loudest when you fall are often the ones who go silent when you rise. And that's not betrayal, that's revelation. There's an old saying, "Show me your friends, and I'll show you your future." Look around. Really look. Are they building? Or are they bitter? Are they growing? Or are they gossiping? Are they climbing? Or are they convincing you the top isn't worth it? Because here's the dark truth. You will become the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. And if those 5 are anchored to the bottom, guess where you're going? The black sheep leaves the herd. Not because it hates the flock, but because it knows that survival means solitude, that greatness means isolation, that sometimes the price of your potential is the people who knew you before you knew yourself. And yes, it hurts. It's supposed to. Growth isn't clean. It's a shedding, a severance, a quiet mourning of who you were and who they needed you to be. But here's what's on the other side. People who don't need you small. People who aren't threatened by your wins. People who see your climb and start their own. Not crabs, climbers. And when you reach the top, you'll look back and realize the loneliness wasn't punishment. It was protection. Because the people who wanted you to fail, they're still in the bucket, pulling at ghosts. And you? You're gone.